Get out, or I'll drag you out myself. The words exploded from Harold's mouth, shattering the silence of my living room as I stood frozen in my navy morning dress, the weight of yesterday's funeral still clinging to me. I watched, heart pounding, as his nephews hauled away my late husband's favorite leather armchair, the one Daniel used to sink into with his morning coffee, flipping through case files. "You don't belong here," I said, my voice low but steady, cutting through the chaos. Harold spun toward me, his lined face curling into a smug grin. "This is our family's legacy, sweetheart. Blood only. Daniel's gone, and you're nothing to us." I'm Lauren Mitchell, 35, and until yesterday, I thought I knew my place in this world. For 7 years, I'd been married to Daniel Mitchell, a compassionate pediatrician in Charlottesville, Virginia. We'd built a life in the charming craftsman home his great-uncle left him, a place filled with our shared dreams. But now, as Harold's nephews, Ethan and Caleb, carted my belongings to the porch like I was some transient, I realized how blind I'd been to his family's resentment. The morning after Daniel's funeral, I returned from my brother's house to find the locks changed and the Mitchell clan treating my home like their personal warehouse. "Daniel would hate this," I murmured, clutching the edge of my wedding album as they tossed it carelessly onto the lawn. Harold scoffed. "Daniel's dead, Lauren. He was too soft on you, always was. We warned him you were after the family fortune, but he didn't listen. That game's over." His words stung like venom. 7 years of stilted holiday dinners, whispered conversations that halted when I entered, and pointed remarks about proper lineage flashed through my mind. I'd endured it for Daniel, who swore his family would warm to me. Now, Ethan reappeared, wiping sweat from his brow. "Most of her stuff's out, Uncle Harold. What about the dining set?" "Take what's worth keeping," Harold barked, not sparing me a glance. "She's got till dusk to grab the scraps." A cold resolve settled in me. They thought I was powerless, but Daniel had seen through them long before I did. From the start, the Mitchells had treated me like an intruder. When Daniel introduced me 7 years ago, their icy reception was palpable. I was a social worker, raised in a modest family, clawing my way through college. To Harold and his sister, Margaret, I was beneath their pedigreed doctor son. "She's dependable," Margaret had sniffed during our first dinner, as if it were an insult. The digs never stopped, subtle jabs about better matches from wealthier families or pointed questions about my intentions when we got engaged. "Family assets stay with family," Harold had lectured before our wedding, insisting on a prenup. Daniel had bristled, but I'd nodded to keep the peace, seething inside at their assumption I was a schemer. Daniel saw it all, the sidelong glances, the rearranged seating to isolate me, the whispers when they thought he wasn't listening. "You could aim higher, son," Margaret once said, unaware I was in earshot. "She's fine, but she's not our kind." Daniel had defended me fiercely, but I saw the hurt in his eyes, the dawning realization of his family's cruelty. The turning point came 4 months before Daniel's death, at a cousin's engagement party. Excusing myself to freshen up, I overheard Harold and his nephews plotting. "When Daniel's gone, the house reverts to us, right?" Caleb asked. "She's got no claim long-term." Harold's reply was chilling. "Spouses get temporary rights, but blood wins. Always has. She'll get whatever trinkets Daniel leaves her, nothing more." Their certainty that I'd be erased from Daniel's legacy shook me. I hid in the bathroom, steadying my breath, then rejoined Daniel, who was animatedly discussing a new pediatric treatment with his aunt. He never suspected the vultures circling our life. That night, driving home, I told Daniel what I'd heard. His face hardened. "Lauren, I've been working on something," he said, pulling into our driveway. "I need to show you." In our cozy den, he revealed a folder of legal papers. "I've had a will since we married, but after hearing my family's nonsense, I've updated it with my lawyer, Sarah Klein. Everything, the house, the practice, our savings, goes to you. I've also added a letter explaining why." The letter detailed years of their slights, their plotting, their dismissal of me as temporary. He'd ensured every document was notarized, with copies secured at Sarah's office. 3 months later, Daniel was diagnosed with aggressive leukemia. 6 months, maybe less, the oncologist warned. Daniel, ever pragmatic, called Sarah immediately. "We need to finalize everything," he told her. Over weeks of grueling chemo, we perfected his will, adding a no-contest clause to block any challenges. His family's visits grew frequent, but their focus was on the house, the practice, the legacy. "Lauren, have you thought about where you'll go after?" Margaret asked one day, her tone dripping with false concern. I smiled tightly, saying nothing. The day before Daniel died, I overheard Ethan and Caleb planning to secure the house post-funeral, even contacting a new doctor to take over Daniel's practice. Daniel, frail but furious, made me promise. "Don't let them bully you. Sarah has everything you need." He passed the next morning, his hand in mine, sunlight streaming through our bedroom. At the funeral, the Mitchells sidelined me, relegating me to the back pew. Harold cornered me afterward. "We'll give you a week to clear out. The house is for Ethan's family now." I returned from my brothers the next day to find them ransacking my home. I called Sarah. "They're here moving my things," I told her, watching from my car. "Stay put," she said. "I'm coming." When Sarah arrived, briefcase in hand, Harold's smugness faltered. "Mrs. Mitchell," she announced, "you're trespassing on Lauren's property." She laid out the will. Everything, house, practice, assets, was mine, backed by joint ownership deeds. Harold's jaw dropped. "But family tradition is legally irrelevant," Sarah cut in, reading Daniel's letter aloud, exposing their years of cruelty. A no-contest clause ensured any challenge would cost them everything. By evening, the Mitchells returned every item they'd taken, including my mother's heirloom clock. The locks they'd changed were replaced at their expense. The practice they'd tried to sell stayed mine. Harold's patriarchal aura crumbled as word spread of their failed scheme. Daniel's final gift wasn't the assets. It was the shield he'd built around our love, ensuring his family's greed could never touch me. As I stood in our den, holding his letter, I felt his strength, a quiet victory won through love and foresight.